Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome. I'm sorry I'm late. More technical difficulties, but we're going to keep pushing. This is day 4 of the Diddy trial, and Cassie is back on the stand, and I know she is just worn out right now because she looks about 9 months pregnant. She has to sit for hours. She keeps requesting these much needed breaks, and she's covering a lot that's like trauma from her past. So we're here now, and I'm just going to update everyone with what's been happening so far. So the defense is doing their cross examination, and they are reviewing text messages between Diddy and Cassie. Prosecutors and defense attorneys are arguing again about what text messages and defense can show the jury during cross examination of Cassie. The defense says it wants to use some colorful text messages between Cassie and Diddy from points in their relationship when Diddy thought Cassie was seeing other people. So it says that the family arrived in court. Just to let you know, it's like the group is getting smaller and smaller. The people that were there on day 1, it's like cut in half. Today, it's just Diddy's mom, the grandmother, I believe so, and his sons. That's it. Remember day 1, he had like this entire group of people. It's not that anymore. They say that the daughters are getting prepared for prom, so they are traveling out of town. So that's what that is. I'm assuming it also has a lot to do with the content that was exposed in court as well. I don't think it's all because they're traveling out of town to get prepared for prom this weekend. So the defense asked Cassie if she and Diddy were in love during their relationship. The defense attorney began her cross-examination of Cassie Ventura by asking about the couple's love during their relationship. You and Sean were in love for 11 years, right? To which Cassie responded, yeah. They asked, did you love him? She said, I did. And do you believe that he loved you as well? She said, yes. So they're basically catching up on a lot of how they started beginning their love life and falling in love, when she realized that he was cheating, when things went south. Hi there. You said them kids definitely didn't need to be there. No, not at all. I agree. They didn't need to be there at all. But I think it's more of like Diddy's ego. Like, I think he wants to prove to people that he has a support system, and it's just not showing. I mean, if you notice, you don't see any of his friend group there, not even Stevie J. Like, Stevie J was like his ride or die, his best friend, but he's not even been there. You don't see anybody that, like Mary J. Blige. I mean, granted, I know people have their own careers, people have things going on in their own lives, but not one person has spoke out. Not one person has showed up for him. Not one person has said anything in regards to his trial. It's almost like they're scared to say anything because they don't want to get the criticism from the public. They don't want to see comments. They don't want to get, as people can say, X'd, or what do they call it? Canceled. They don't want to get canceled for supporting Diddy, or they don't want their own skeletons to come out. But we shall see. Reason why it's kind of wiggly is because I'm actually holding my phone. So it says, Cassie confirms she knew a version of Diddy that no one else knew. Basically, she knows a lot of his character that he doesn't display. The defense attorney asked Cassie if she remembered calling Diddy larger than life during her testimony, and she confirmed she does remember that. They say, but to you, he was Sean, and you knew the Sean that other people didn't see. Cassie confirmed. She was also asked if she knew that he was special. She says, no, I don't think I always knew, she responded. They say Cassie's voice was very soft, almost like a whisper as she was answering the question. So that's kind of weird. Um, Cassie says that she felt hurt more at the beginning of the relationship when he cheated. But it's almost weird that she says that because in the beginning of her testimony, she says that she thought that they were exclusive early on, but she found out really fast that he was seeing other people. So she knew that he was seeing other people. So I don't understand how they say that she felt hurt when she already knew. I don't know. Cassie confirmed that she was with Diddy for 11 years despite his flaws because she thought that he truly loved her. They say, so when he cheated on you, it really hurt. She put, I would say not every time. She also added that she spent more time feeling hurt in the early stages of their relationship. So basically, it's like as time went by, she just accepted the cheating. I don't know what person in their right mind would. Never mind, I can't say that because I know some people probably really do that, but I don't know. The jury saw emails between Diddy and Cassie from 2008. Cassie read the emails aloud on the witness stand. Combs said, it makes me so happy that you would fly to Atlanta just to see me. I'm a very lucky man. I love you. I miss you. Can't wait to hold you. Cassie responded, I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you so much. I'd fly wherever you needed me, whenever. I love you. Cassie testified that early on in the relationship around this time, she and Diddy would often send each other loving messages, which, that makes sense. It's still early on in their relationship. They just really covered more of the relationship text messages going back and forth. Can't wait to see you. Love you, baby. I love you. You consume so much of my life. And I never knew it could be like this. And it says the jury also saw text from 2009 in which Diddy told Cassie, I love you so much it makes me cry. In exchange, she called him Pop Pop, which is, I guess, a nickname for his grandfather, which to me is kind of weird as well. Cassie testified that she wanted more time and attention from Diddy when they were dating. Cassie testified that she often wanted more time with him when they were in a relationship. The jury saw a message that Cassie sent Diddy in 2010. I haven't talked to you at all. I know you can take 3 minutes out of your day to talk to me, and you don't even try. You're in too much of a rush to get me off the phone. That's not being in a relationship with someone that you love and you are in love with. I'm really hurt by the way you deal with me. I don't need your money. I need some attention. I'm thankful, but I can pay for these things myself. So it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds a lot like she was actually really in love with him. Like, it wasn't about the money. Of course, in the beginning it was, but then she eventually just was drawn to him and started actually loving him. Despite everything else, despite the cheating, despite, him being abusive, she loved him. The defense attorney asked Cassie about her desire to make him happy. She said, to make him happy, you must, they said, and to make him happy, you told him that you wanted to do freak-offs, and referring to the drug-fueled performances he arranged. And she said, there's a lot more to that. Then she asked to take a break. The jury had been viewing text messages between Diddy and Cassie while they were dating. Now, do you guys, right now, and I could be wrong, but just right now, it doesn't feel like any of this is significant. They're the professionals. They're the ones, they're the experts. So they know how this will all tie into his actual criminal case. But just these text messages, I don't understand really how that's going to fall into play to get him locked up. You know what I mean? It's not really pulling me in, so to speak. So there's a couple more updates. They say Cassie returned to the stand while she is being cross-examined by the defense. So it says during the break that Cassie requested the defense lawyer, who is married to Diddy's lawyer, is at a divider in conferring with 5 attorneys from the defense team. She is speaking the longest with Estevao, who is doing the cross-examination. It says earlier Diddy gave a heart-shaped hand gesture to the attorney's mother, who is seated beside her. It says Diddy was wearing a beige sweater, white collar, and gray pants. His 3 sons and mother are in the courtroom this morning, and he tapped his chest when they made eye contact with him. Oh, give me a break. Like, come on. See, that's how he gets them. I mean, he wants to put on this facade like he is just this, innocent man who just made a couple of horrible mistakes. And, everybody makes mistakes. And I'm pretty sure he gave them the whole spiel before they even went to court. He probably talked to them on the phone and said, hey, they're going to, start lying and saying all these things that may be difficult to hear. But half of it is true, half of it is not true. Pretty sure he told them that. And I'm almost certain, they believe what he's saying, which to me is very disturbing. Like, how can you sit here and listen to all these things and think that he's actually telling the truth? I mean, I don't know. It makes no sense to me at all. But what do you guys think about it? Because I am still just undecided about all of the answers that they're given. I mean, right now, I know it's only day 4. This is an 8-week long trial. So I know there's going to be more to come out that's going to be more substantial. But right now, it's not looking like it's going to really put him in jail. And thank you guys for joining my channel. If you join and not subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe. So Cassie is on, if you're just coming in, Cassie is on stand right now. She is being cross-examined by the defense. I'm going to see if there's any closer updates from Inner City Press, who I like following on X as well. So, and if you come in and you're on my live, hit that like button as well. Let me see what updates we have on X. All right. So 2 minutes ago, it's just saying that she returned, and now they're being cross-examined. So judge says you may proceed. Cassie, he said, Cassie, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right? And she says, yes. This is 2 days after the planning of the freak off, right? And she says, yes. So they're seeing messages from Cassie as well that are explicit. Is this going to play a role? Do you guys think that Cassie's messages to Diddy is going to play a major role in her, I guess you could say, innocence? Like, are they going to look at this and say, how innocent is Cassie in all this? Because that is what a lot of the outsiders have been saying. Like, well, she's just as guilty. She is playing the game right along with him. If he is doing anything in regards to trafficking, she's playing along. She's paid them. She is a participating party in all of this. So I don't know how this is really going to affect, the actual trial itself, because she is sending him messages that are explicit. We can't see them. The jury can see these messages. So I don't know if this is going to really affect her negatively. You know what I mean? So I'm going back and forth from CNN to X because CNN is a little bit more delayed, and I get it. They have to write up their stuff, so. But yeah, they said that Diddy is like hand-hearting, the lawyer's mother, and he taps his chest when he makes eye contact with his sons, who were also in the courtroom. I mean, I think that was kind of like he wanted that confirmation that they are still supporting him, like, hey, we're with you no matter what is said, no matter how bad things are. But my question is, if something comes out in regards to their mother, Kim Porter, which everybody knows those boys loved their mom. They were really close to her, especially Quincy. He was really drawn to his mom. I know he hears the things that are being said, the things that are being rumored about Kim Porter. And I know it has to be very, very hard for him. But if something comes out about Kim Porter in regards to Diddy, whether it was something he physically did to Kim, whether it's something that he had planned on doing to Kim, and Cassie knew. There's a lot of stories out there that Cassie, was there present when Diddy was doing bad things to Kim physically. I don't think this is going to go very well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much more they will be able to sit through, how they're going to feel about him after hearing all of these things about their mom. Because it was a lot. Things can be exposed in these messages that I'm pretty sure is going to be bad. So Cassie is still being cross-examined. They have a little picture right here of what it looks like in the courtroom. They say he's wearing like a tan sweater with the little collar. He's trying to give like this little Mr. Rogers persona, which I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, Nene. I can't see them standing beside him after that. If they believe, I mean, I don't know. That's just a lot. And I don't know if like he came to them and said, look, I've done some bad things to your mom that I am not proud of. Like, give the little speech. Hello, Beverly. Welcome in. You guys, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I'm going to be following this trial the entire 8 weeks. I'm trying to get my streaming devices together so I won't have to hold my phone or put it on a tripod. I've been having some technical difficulties with that, so I know that affects the quality of this live, and I do apologize. But I know some things are going to come out about Kim Porter because that was something that was even in Cassie's lawsuit. And I would hate for the kids to be sitting there and hear something bad about their mom. I would hate that so bad. That's why I don't understand why he would even want them there. You know what I mean? And please, you guys, give this video a thumbs up if you're in here. Welcome, everybody. I know my live is not as interesting or entertaining, but it's because I don't want to get copyright striked for playing, video footage of something else, someone else's content or anything on YouTube. So I'm just going to play it safe and just go to Twitter and CNN and just read the details. This little picture thing in the background, that's just a montage of photos that I put together. So let's see here. Just trying to refresh and see what's going on, what's being said from the cross-examination. I know Cassie is burnt out. I really do. I honestly don't see how she does it. Okay, so they're back to the text messages. The attorney says that Diddy said, I want to see you. How did you reply? And Cassie says, I can't wait to see you either. And Estavo wrote, I feel like I want to F, right? And Cassie put, that's what it says. Estavo. Mr. Combs. So, Mr. Combs. Sorry, y'all. It's hard reading on Twitter, on X. Cassie says, that's what it is. And then Diddy says, I'm so HORNY. I can't concentrate. What do you say? Cassie puts that I'll go to Dwayne Reed for candles and then set up the room. Did you understand that he was going to take another video of you? That's what the attorney asked. Objection, speculation. That's from the defense. That's from the prosecution. The judge says, Miss Estavo, you can move on. Estavo says, you may ask, any pills on you? And she put, yes. So let me refresh here. Yeah, this is all a lot. Like, I don't even see how his mom can sit through this. So Estavo put, what pills are you taking then? And she put opiates. OPIATES, if that's how you pronounce it. Estavo put, you deleted videos on your devices, right? Cassie said, yes. Estavo said, why did you write? And then Cassie says, that I need to feel this is my husband, the only one who will see this side of me. Okay. So how are you guys feeling so far about this? Honestly, I don't feel like there's anything significant that's like, oh my goodness, he's going down for life. So far, keep in mind, this is just day 4. This is just day 4. So, I'm sure the big stuff is going to come out, a little bit later. So on CNN, they put the jury is shown graphic text messages between Combs and Cassie in 2009. It says the messages are a continuation of texts that were shown before Cassie, who is being cross-examined by the defense team now. Those texts came as they were planning a freak-off, which is what Combs called the drug-fueled performances that he orchestrated. So these text messages, do you guys feel like it's going to be something like significant that's going to really put him down? I know that they're using this to be evidence that, she wasn't a willing party. All this is just showing is in the beginning, but, as time went by, obviously, this is something that she did not want to do anymore. Play this video real quick.
Try Fiverr Go, an AI model trained by
This is CNN, by the way.
Something unique in their own style, or keep trying other AI solutions.
Which one is your favorite?
I think they're all the same.
Yeah, try Fiverr Go.
Is Imran Ansari. He's a former prosecutor, trial attorney, and criminal defense attorney here in New York. Imran, great to have you this morning.
I'm trying to get my tripod.
Takeaways legally from day 1 of Cassie's testimony. How damaging was it, in your perspective, to the defense in terms of the actual charges here?
It was certainly a strong day for the prosecution. Cassie Ventura's testimony was not only shocking, it was salacious, but it also made out the elements of some of the crimes that Diddy is charged with. And the prosecution wants to do that. They want to bring in a powerful witness like Cassie Ventura to testify before the jury about a pattern of conduct as alleged against Diddy.
Give me a second,
and
you
also
guys.
coercion, control, and abuse. And that's supposed to really differentiate what the defense is going to be coming at and saying that these were consensual acts or motivated later by civil lawsuits. But it was a strong day for the prosecution, and I think we're going to see that continue with Cassie Ventura's testimony today.
Okay.
Yeah, Imran, I'm curious. The jury has already seen, and we're just days into this trial, the surveillance video of Cassie being attacked at least 5 times. Does the prosecution run the risk of desensitizing the jury to that video by showing it so much?
I don't think so. We saw a similar use of a video in the George Floyd trial. That jury saw the video of George Floyd's interaction with those officers time and time again. And I think it was a powerful move in that trial, and I think it's a powerful move in this trial. It also corroborates the witness's testimony.
Sorry, guys.
Is corroborating those allegations, corroborating her testimony. And it's a strong piece of evidence, and it's disturbing to watch. So it's going to be buttressing the prosecution's theme as they move to proving their case before that jury, while also corroborating the witness's testimony about Diddy in terms of the allegations of abuse. So I think the jury will see it. They may be desensitized in some sense by the end, but I think the prosecution is going to be able to tie it back in.
Okay, because I was wondering that.
It's a powerful piece of evidence, so I'm not surprised that they're showing it over and over again.
Yeah, Cassie, we know when she's back on the stand today, she may also face cross-examination. What do you expect here from the defense? I mean, we know that one of the defense lawyers, one of the women defense lawyers, one of the female defense lawyers, is expected to actually question Cassie. But I imagine, I mean, she's very pregnant, she's in her third trimester. It's a sort of sensitive kind of line they have to toe here. They're defending their client, obviously, but you know the situation at hand is also a very sensitive one. What's the strategy there from them?
Absolutely. So the defense, with their cross-examination, on one hand, they have to represent Diddy zealously. They have to poke holes in Cassie Ventura's testimony. But when you have a witness like Cassie Ventura, not only from an optics standpoint, she's pregnant, she's been emotional on the stand, but also from the allegation standpoint and her testimony, you have to treat a witness like that very lightly in some sense, meaning you have to be sensitive. You don't want the jury to be put off by the cross-examination. And I'm not surprised that Diddy's defense team chose a female defense attorney to cross-examine Cassie Ventura because sometimes when you have allegations of sexual abuse and allegations of abuse like Cassie Ventura is making against Diddy, it's more effective or more palatable to a jury to have a female defense attorney cross-examine that witness rather than a male defense attorney, because it may come across a little misogynistic or the message to the jury may be taken the wrong way. So they have to treat Cassie Ventura with some sensitivity on cross-examination, but at the same time, they have to zealously advocate for Diddy and poke holes in her story and attack her credibility as a defense attorney would do.
Imran, can we go over some of the charges here? So he's charged with 5 counts.
Okay, so I wanted to see if there's any updates here. Let me close this out. Is this? Oops. Why did I click on that? Okay, so let me refresh and see if there's any updates here that I missed. Nope, not so far. So let me see on the Inner City Press if there's anything else significant. I don't know. A lot of these text messages that I'm seeing seems a little bit predictable. I mean, they just sound like regular conversations until, of course, it gets to the freak off part. But I mean, nothing too crazy, right? Okay, let's see. So he says, so we already went over that about the pills that she was taking. She deleted videos off her device. She admitted that. And they ask, what are you afraid of? That Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way? And she put that was a concern. Attorney puts, you still, oh, says you were still not public in your relation with him. She put correct. Then they ask, were freak offs important? And Cassie put, I can't read that. Sorry. Hi. Hi. Okay. So they put, who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas? Cassie put Britney Spears, Dallas Austin. Interesting. Gustavo, how did you get them there? Cassie put, they came for Sean. They also ask, you're very beautiful and charming. Cassie put, thank you. Gustavo, it's true. Excuse me. Okay, let's see what else we have here. So yeah, nothing super significant yet. That's like anything different than what she put yesterday. Keep in mind, yesterday she said a lot of these things already. So I don't know. I hope this is not going to be like a snooze fest today. Let's see what different is revealed. Here, Pashki. Here. So I think there's a lot of factors that are going to come into play because they're going to use these text messages and think, okay, well, this doesn't sound like Cassie is an unwilling participant. You know what I mean? They're going to look at it and be like, according to these messages, she was okay with it. These messages prove otherwise. It doesn't prove that she was coerced or bribed or, threatened to go and do these freak offs. So that's what I'm afraid of. They're going to look at these messages and be like, there is nothing. And I'm just going based upon how I would be as a juror. I would see that or hear that. Let's just say I have a clean slate. I know nothing about Diddy, nothing about his past, or nothing already in the press, which I'm pretty sure some of those jurors already know a lot. But let's just say I have a clean slate. I'm going to look at the defense of what the questions they are asking and the answers that are given. That's not making me feel like Cassie was coerced or she was bribed or she was threatened to do these. It just seems like she's the one who is wanting these freak offs, which is not going to look good. Okay, so after she explains who was at her 21st birthday, Britney Spears, Dallas Austin, he said, how did you get them there? They said, from Diddy. Then Estavo said, you're very beautiful and charming. Cassie said, thank you. And he said, it's true, which I don't know where he's getting at with there. Who is Tony Mottola? Cassie said, a well-known producer. Estevio, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. I'm going to just put attorney. You were an up-and-coming star. Cassie put, I guess you could say that. He said, after you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic. And she put, yes. So they're really right now just getting the feel and the history of, how she started a Bad Boy Records. What was the relationship like when she was with Diddy? Were they platonic? Were they exclusive? Like, was this something that, she was aware of? So they're just getting the feel of that right now. I am kind of like, I don't know what is going to come of a lot of the messages because I haven't seen anything yet. Like I stated before, I haven't seen anything yet that makes me feel like this is going to play a significant part. What the defense is doing is like what they're experts in. They're cross-examining her, and nothing that she has stated makes me feel like the jury is going to be won over by her statements, her responses. And seeing these text messages does not display any form of coercion. I'm telling you, these artists, I mean, they do a pretty good job. Okay, nothing so far on that. All right, let me go back to Inner City Press. Let me see what they have updated on here. Okay, so Estavio said you had a rough performance, and Cassie says 106 in Park, it did not go well for me. Estavio said, how did he help you after that? She said, we did a YouTube video. He said, everybody makes mistakes. He said, what was wrong? Ventura said, I couldn't hear myself. So I see where this is going already. They're gonna make it, they're still trying to paint this picture for Diddy as to being this big charmer, this helpful guy that just has had, he's had some mistakes in his life that he's made, and deep down he wants to help. He's somebody who wants more for someone's career, or hers specifically. Estavio said, were you dating Mr. Leslie? How much older than you was he? And she said 10 years. Estavio said, then you traveled to Miami with Mr. Combs? The flyer of the event was just a cover to spend time with Mr. Combs, right? And she put, that's true. I see what they're doing there. Now they're character fishing. They're trying to now twist this to make it seem like Cassie is this like scandalous woman who is just wild and crazy. She's, already dating someone, and she's just using that person to get closer to Diddy. It's very interesting. I see what they're doing here. I see what they're doing. So yeah, right now there's not been anything that I see significant on the text messages. I'm sorry, just nothing that I'm seeing is, gonna be playing a part. Is just, of course it's the defense that's cross-examining, so that's your job, but so they say the jury saw another message exchange between Diddy and Cassie from 2009 where she talked about wanting more pills, and then she deleted the video. In the text, Cassie and Diddy Oh, in the text, Cassie asked Diddy if he had any more pills. Cassie testified that she was using opiates like narco around the time these messages were sent. In the same text messages, Cassie also mentioned deleting a video, but she testified that she wasn't sure what kind of video she was referring to in the messages and couldn't be used. Oh, couldn't be sure if it was a freak off recording. Defense attorney Anna, oh, I've been saying him. Anna Estavo if asked if Cassie preferred to have freak off videos recorded on her devices. Cassie said, I didn't want them to be recorded at all. Cassie testified that it was fair to say that she was a celebrity in her own right by the time she was 21. Diddy brought the other celebrities to her 21st birthday, which was held at a nightclub in Las Vegas. When the defense attorney asked Cassie how a 21-year-old could attract celebrity guests, Cassie said, that was all him. I didn't know them. Cassie testified during the prosecution's direct examination that she ran away when Diddy kissed her for the first time at her 21st birthday. So, yeah, I want to know how you guys feel because I don't think that this one is going to make a difference. It's definitely going to paint the picture that Cassie was a willing participant, especially since in these text messages, she was actually asking for more DURGS. She was asking for it. So they're going to use that and say, oh, well, nothing was snuck in her drink. Nothing sounds like Cassie was a willing participant in everything in these freak offs, even though, she said yesterday that she was going along with it because she loved Diddy and she wanted to make him happy. So if it meant taking something to ease her pain or to get her high, that's what she was going to do because she wanted to make him happy. She didn't want him to leave her. She fell in love with him. Uh-oh. Here you go. Here you go, Papa. Here. Hi. Stop. If you're in here, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up as well. So, defense attorney says, Mr. Combs taught you how to do oral. And she said, he did. They also said, look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read it? Cassie said, you can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007. Attorney says, you wrote, I feel protected. You are sweet. Interesting. Here, stop kicking it. Here. Hello, Beverly. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're just getting some updates here. Right now, Cassie is being cross-examined by the defense. They're reading some what they call explicit text messages. And right now, it looks like Cassie was trying to have a good time, in my opinion, trying to have a good time so that Diddy will feel like, okay, she's a keeper. She's going along with the party, if you know what I mean. Like, he's introducing all this stuff to her, and she's just like, okay, I'll do it. A lot of, I like to call it peer pressure. That's what I like to call it. But even though as time goes by, you can tell that you can tell that she's getting a little bit more comfortable taking these things. She's getting more comfortable doing these things, although she does say, she wasn't comfortable. But you can tell by these text messages that, this was like a norm. And she did reveal yesterday that she got hooked on it. So, looking at live updates here. Welcome back, everyone. I would love to know what everybody thinks about these text messages. I mean, do you feel like this is really going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? So, quick update. Cassie testifies that Diddy was the second older man she dated. Cassie testified that she met Diddy through Ryan Leslie, a music producer that she dated for about 3 years, beginning when she was 18 or 19. Hold on, 3 years? Okay, so she met Diddy when she was 19. She met Leslie, I'm pretty sure, when she was probably about 17. The math ain't mathin'. She says that she was dating Ryan Leslie, a music producer that she dated for about 3 years, beginning when she was 18 or 19. I think she was younger than that because she started dating Diddy when she was 19. Leslie was about 10 years older than her, Cassie said, meaning Diddy was the second older man she dated. Cassie and Diddy had a platonic relationship when she first signed to his company, Bad Boy Records. She confirmed he supported her after a bad TV performance, and that meant a lot to her, she said. Following her 21st birthday, Cassie said that she wanted to join Diddy on a trip to Miami, but she was still dating Ryan Leslie. So she testified that she used a flyer for an event as an excuse to go on the trip. So y'all see where this is going. They're kind of trying to like paint the picture that Cassie was this cheater. Like she was also not perfect. She also used Ryan Leslie, someone who was a music producer. It's almost as if like she's just trying to get with anybody who can boost her career. Now, keep in mind, I'm not dogging that Cassie. I'm not dogging her at all because, I mean, hey, you do what you got to do to make it in life. You know what I mean? But how the jury is going to look at it is, oh, so she has a history of this. She is, not this sweet, innocent, little girl or little teenager. She knows what she's doing. She was with a music producer, Ryan Leslie. Then she went to another producer of Bad Boy Records, Diddy. She used a flyer to make it seem like she was going on a trip to Miami. But in reality, she wanted to go on that trip with Diddy. So it's almost like, she's not going to be painted as this wonderful, innocent girl. And, Cassie never said she was this young, innocent girl. She's admitted everything. She's saying, yeah, I dated an older man before, They really had a hand in her future, a hand in her career. So that's what she's doing. There is nothing wrong with that, but it's It's always how it's going to be perceived by the jury. Is the jury going to see it as, okay, Cassie was just trying to get a career boost, so she's not innocent? You know, it's all about character. They tried to do that in their opening statements. They said, you know, everybody wanted to be around Diddy. Diddy had the upper hand. He was powerful. He was a music mogul. You know, he was successful. Everybody wanted a hand in that. So they're trying to paint it like Diddy is not this monster. He helped her career, he helped her grow. That's what they want the jury to vision. They want them to have that vision of him being this great person that helps people in their careers. And what the defense is doing is they're bringing up, you know, these text messages where she admits that she was with she was with an older man, 10 years older. She dated him. He was a music producer. He had a hand in her career, just like Diddy does. So, of course, it doesn't look like she is, you know, being, you know what I mean, promise these things, promise these hopes and dreams without wanting to. You know, this is her being a willing participant in all of this, you know, entertainment, all of the industry things. She is asking for these things. Yeah. 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 What is it? What is it? Hi. 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 Okay, we got another update. I'm just going to read this real quick. Says Cassie told Diddy that she needed to feel safe. The jury viewed text messages between Cassie and Diddy from December 2009 that Cassie confirmed reflected the open communication between them. She told the defense attorney that at the time she felt comfortable expressing her needs to Combs over participating in freak offs and these performances orchestrated by him. She wrote that in 2009 message that she needed to feel safe, like home, to be more open with the things we do in bed. She continued, the last time was a mistake, but since has made me feel a little dirty and grimy as opposed to the sexual and spontaneous. Okay, I already read that part. That's the only reason why I go back and forth in my mind with wanting and not wanting to do it. She wrote that when we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there was no question asked. But she did not feel the same level of love anymore, at least. So I guess, you know, she's just trying to explain herself that in the beginning she felt safe with him. It was just something crazy and spontaneous. And then things flipped. Things got crazy, like really crazy. They started doing things that she wasn't okay with. They started adding video recording. You know, they started doing some things that she explained yesterday that, you know, made her feel uncomfortable, but she wanted him to be happy. She wanted to please him. She didn't want him to go and see someone else, or she didn't want him to go and pick someone else that is willing to do that. So all in all, she didn't want to lose him. In hindsight, she did. She wanted the love. She didn't want all this extra stuff. She didn't want the hurt, the pain. She didn't want these extra people in their bedroom, but to make him happy. I mean, this is textbook example of a woman in a domestic violent relationship. I mean, you love that person. You want that person around. You want to do things that make them happy. You don't want to lose that person. So what is that going to take? If you don't want to lose that person, what is it going to take to make them happy? If they are asking me to do certain things, in the bedroom, then so be it. I don't want him to run off and find someone else that is willing to do it. It all makes sense now. Like, that's the picture that I'm getting. Yes, he's had multiple relationships. Yes, he was seeing more than just one person. But, if that's what he wants to do, I'm not going to make him upset because I want to still be around. I still want to have a part in his life. I don't want him to end up finding someone else. And it all makes sense now. So when she says that she needed to feel safe, I mean, obviously he's treated her in a way that she was she was like this big person that's going to blow up. Her career is going to blow up. He promised her things that really sounded good. Where has Cassie's career gone? Besides just a couple of movies and one album. Where has it gone? But she was promised a 10 album deal. Like, he was supposed to have that ready for her. She said that he'll hand her something and it was almost like busy work because she'll finish it, but he'll never do anything with it. Like, I personally feel if Cassie's career ended up actually, if Diddy actually did something with her career, I feel like she would be really successful in the music industry. Was she the best singer? Was she Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston? No, she was not. But she was a good entertainer. Like, she had some pop hits, and she was hot at the moment. She was a beautiful woman, and anything you can bop your head to, it's gonna be successful. I mean, have you guys seen what's on TikTok now? Like, these people aren't like these great, amazing singers, but they make hits that people are drawn to, and that's what it's about. But he did nothing with her career. Instead, he used her for something different. He used her for these freak offs that would satisfy his needs, which is so selfish. But her being young, we all have that saying, oh, I was young and dumb. Yeah. She now looks back and says, yes, I was young and dumb. I did these things and I should have walked away when I had the chance to. But she wanted to further her career. She wanted to get somewhere. She was already had a bad performance on 106 in Park. She knew of Diddy or Puff Daddy at the time. She knew that he could make that change for her. So he whispered sweet nothings in her ear so that she could at least be that vulnerable young woman, knowing that, hey, I may actually end up being, this big time pop star. And she didn't end up being that. She had a few songs, a few features in some songs, or, I think she had a song with Nicki Minaj, and I don't know. I think Cassie has great work, but what she was promised, she did not get. And that's very unfortunate. Let me see what else we have updated here. They're probably going to be taking a break soon. Okay, so now they're discussing, they said, so you discussed Carrie Morgan. That's what the attorney asked. They said, did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her? Cassie put, there was a point in the very beginning. I got to look that up, who Carrie Morgan was. Ventura. So she says, okay. Attorney then says, did that complication carry on in your relationship? And then she says, not really. Carrie was just always with us. So I gotta, Carrie Morgan. That name doesn't ring a bell. So Estavo says, I'd like to start asking about freak-offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask. Cassie said yes. Estavo said the general public did not know. Objection. is what the prosecution says. The judge says, rephrase. Gustavo says, no one knew until November 2023 in the public. And she put yes. What are you talking about? Are you reading with me? I got my baby here on live with me. So now they're getting into what Cassie was willing to do. I think they're done with the text messages. So let's see here. No updates on CNN. If you're just coming in, I would love to know your opinion, like, because there's people that are disagreeing with me. They say, hey, 100%, you know, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. These messages have no kind of value in this case. I disagree. I think that it has a lot of value in this case. Hi, Sally. Thanks for coming in. Because it's going to prove, well, you know, it's going to prove some of the jurors that, you know, Cassie, she had a goal. She had a goal. And is that a bad thing? I mean, in my eyes, no, it's not a bad thing. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has a reason for doing what they do. When people go into pageantry and start doing pageant and stuff, what is their goal? To make it bigger, right? They want to eventually become Miss America one day. That was their goal. What do people do who start off, you know, mowing grass? Their goal, I'm assuming, is to eventually have a big time landscaping business. That's their goal. So they are knocking on people's doors, handing out their cards so that they can be more well known. So what was Cassie's goal? She was a musician. She was an artist. Her goal was to make it big in the industry. So what did she do? She dated these producers that probably could take her career higher. And she doesn't deny that. That's the thing. She's not denying that. She is saying they knew that. Are you going to let mommy talk? They knew that about Cassie. Cassie is not trying to hide that. She is being very open about what her goals were in the beginning. She said she knew Diddy, you know, had a big hand in the music industry, Bad Boy Records. So she continued on with that relationship, that platonic relationship. Then, you know, it grew to something else. She felt like if she said no, she wouldn't make it big in the industry. Sharon, you put that Cassie was young and dumb at the time and did not realize the abuse and control that would be coming. Yes, of course. Of course. That's like with a lot of us women or men, you know, it could be for men too. I mean, you don't realize what you're getting, you know, yourself into. And once you do get into it, you're just kind of comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, this is almost your life now. You're molding this to be your life. You got into something and now it's like you don't know how to get out of it. You don't have any idea someone is going to start putting their hands on you or start, you know, blackmailing you or using you for anything. You don't know that right when you meet someone. Like she said, Diddy was a charmer. Like, he was very charming, you know, not necessarily physically charming, but he was someone who everybody wanted to be around. Everybody wanted, you know, a piece of what he had because he was known for making people's careers very successful. So, of course, they wanted part of that. And if you guys come in, please like this live, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. So, attorney then asks, after the freak offs, Let's get this wiped up. After the freak offs, you'd make love with Diddy? And Cassie said yes. She was then asked, your period, Mr. Combs is asking you when you're on it? And she put, yep. Okay, now that's gross. Gustavo asked, he's asking in the context of when to meet up and have sex? Cassie said, looks like it. Gustavo, sometimes you watched him with the female? Cassie put 2 or 3 times. You see where this is going? They are like trying to see all what she was okay with. Like, they're going to say, oh, well, you knew this was going on. You know, you watched. But I'm pretty sure that wasn't her idea. I'm pretty sure he said, hey, now you watch me. What are you talking about? So they get into that. I don't know why that was relevant about the whole period thing. That was a little odd. I don't know the relevancy of that. If I was the prosecutor, I would say, objection, Your Honor. Irrelevant. So then Cassie says, well, she doesn't say anything yet because it hasn't updated. But yeah, so that is very, very on trend of what you said. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining in. Please like this live if you don't mind. So Cassie opens up more in expressing her feelings and messages, she says. So the jury saw an email that Cassie sent to Diddy back in 2007, just a few weeks after her 21st birthday party. Cassie testified that the email demonstrates open communication between her and Diddy, but said it was usually a one-way street. She said that she would send messages being open about her feelings more often than he would. In the email, Cassie wrote, we've only really had 1 week of each other together, and I can say it's been the best and worst. She wrote about things that she liked about Diddy and dreaming of a beautiful future together. So, who knew I'd fall so fast, she wrote. She also wrote about some negative feelings that she had about their relationship, and she indicated that she felt that her friend may be better suited for Combs. It's hard for me to handle that, she wrote. On the other hand, you're constantly weary of me. I'm sneaky. I've never seemed to make the right decisions to you. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm dramatic. I'm disrespectful. And for some reason, you just don't trust me, she wrote. So that was one of the emails. That was interesting. So she put, we only really had 1 week of each other just together. And I can say it's been the best and the worst. Yeah, so you could tell, I mean, it was love. I mean, that's what it ended up being. That's what a lot of women that are being, abused, that's how it is. They meet these people that charm them up front, and then, you're inseparable. Then they started turning, and then your feelings start to shift a little bit, but you're in love. You're in love, so you don't want to lose that person, regardless of how you're being treated, clearly. And I know that's going to be used against Cassie. Well, it's not her trial, but, that's going to be like a plus on the defense's side, I must say. Because they're going to say, see, he was charming, you were in love with him, You wanted these things. That's what they're going to say. You could have left, but you wanted these things. I'm getting real-time updates from Inner City Press, if you guys were wondering. I think this is a good channel on X. So Estavo asked, did you talk to Combs about the swingers lifestyle? Cassie said that no one talks about it. Oh, okay. Estavo says, were you keeping freak-offs secret from your friends? She put, yes. Estavo says his assistants help him. And she says, with everything. I lost it. See, I don't know how to use X because now I lost what I was just reading. See, that's what I hate about X. That's why sometimes I just get the updates from CNN Live because I don't know how to push back to what I just read. Okay. Oh, there it is. It says, you would remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort. She put, not necessarily. I was high. Bless you. She said, so I don't remember much. Oh, they said, so you don't remember much? She said, I had my privacy invaded a lot during the relationship. Oh, that sucks. Are you trying to talk over me? Are you trying to talk over me? Okay, let's see what we have so far. Yeah, so this is now looking like pretty much what they should be doing. The defense is defending, doing their job, and they're painting the picture that Cassie was a willing participant. He was this charming guy. She was in love with him. She was professing her love, and, they're just really trying to paint the picture as Diddy was a good guy. And she was willing for everything. There was no coercing involved. There was no bribes. There was no threats. But I don't know. Maybe we will get there. Maybe we will see that after lunch. I know Cassie is just burnt out. I know she is. So you guys can read this for a second. I'm gonna be okay. So it says, why the prosecution asked Cassie about her civil lawsuit against Combs before the defense could today. So I'm gonna read that in just a second. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm back. Um, it says Cassie testified yesterday during her direct examination that she and Diddy agreed to settle the civil lawsuit she filed against the music mogul in 2023 for $20 million. I thought I read somewhere it was $30 million. So I guess it's only 20 million. The defense just raised the subject again today with attorney Estavio asking Cassie if she thought it would be fair to say Combs' career was ruined after the lawsuit became public. I couldn't understand that. Yeah, Cassie replied. CNN legal analysis and former federal prosecutor told CNN the prosecution would have seen this line of questioning coming. And there was a strategy behind bringing it up during direct examination yesterday before the defense cross examined Cassie. Prosecutors always do what we call drawing the sting. So if you know there's a good point for cross examination, you'll always bring it out on direct so the jury isn't surprising. And they don't think, oh, prosecutors didn't tell us about this, Roger said. So you're kind of signaling the jury. We know this, but we still believe our witnesses. So let's see what's updated. They talk a lot about the swinger lifestyle. Cassie confirmed that she and Diddy had conversations about being swingers, and eventually she saw it in person at the clubs that they went to. Defense attorney asked if the freak-offs were related to the swinger lifestyle. Related in a sexual way, yeah, Cassie said, but they're very different. So remember when the attorney, Diddy's attorney was like, oh, he's not a criminal, he's just a swinger. So I guess that's why they put that. But Cassie confirms that being a swinger is not the same. Being a swinger is not the same as just being, doing something in a freak off. She said those are two different things. So try again. They tried. But I think what they're going to do now is try to ask, okay, so what are the differences? But they probably won't do that because then, that's going to give it away. So he says, from July 2012, you say to Mr. Combs, I'm horny and bored. This was after the freak off, right? Cassie says, there are a lot for text here. Said to be 25 pages where the defense exhibits into evidence available. So the prosecution says, I would ask the witness to be allowed to read the entire document. Judge, how many pages? They say 8. The prosecution says, we don't have a copy for the witnesses, but we'll show it on screen. So they're going to show those text messages about what Cassie did after the freak off. So evidently they're showing that she was fine after that. And I don't know. She call me crazy, but I think a lot of what Cassie was doing was just trying to make him happy. I don't think she really meant that she wanted more and all this extra stuff that they're trying to say. Seems like every day was a day after a freak off with Diddy. Where's the defense going with this? Who keeps text messages from 13 years ago? He's weird for a lot of reasons. Horny after a freak off? Dang. Diddy still isn't innocent. I don't care how many old messages they show. again, her mindset wasn't right back then. No, her mindset wasn't right. She was young. She had so much going on, trying to keep up this image, trying to satisfy and please her then boyfriend, trying to keep a lot of things a secret. She was also intoxicated at a lot of these freak offs, so she didn't know what she was saying. And she was probably just saying something, and a lot of what she was taking probably made her feel, horny or whatever. So that's I don't think that's gonna hold up either. I mean, that's irrelevant. Then it says, I would ask that the witnesses be allowed to read the entire document. They say 8 pages. Oh, I already read that. My bad. Okay, so nothing so far from Inner City Press. I'm sure they're going to be breaking soon. But yeah, y'all tell me your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you think so far. I mean, of course they're painting this picture, which is that's their job. I mean, they're the defense. They're supposed to defend their client. So I mean, they're doing the right thing. But are they going to fall for that? Is the jury going to fall for that? Like, make it seem like, oh, wow, well, Cassie wasn't as innocent as, she led on yesterday. Prosecution did their job, just like the defense today is doing their job. So it says here, okay, so nothing so far after that. So Cassie says that she didn't want Diddy's staff to know about the freak offs. Cassie testified that she didn't remember any of Diddy's employees walking in while they were having a freak off, and she said that she never talked to any of his staff about them. Cassie said she definitely didn't want his employees to know about them. She and Diddy's assistants would often set up the hotel rooms beforehand, and they would at times come in the hotel room while they were staying there. But she added she doesn't have a specific recollection of a staff member in the room when she was actively in a freak off. But, she was drugged up. She wouldn't know. Cassie acknowledged that she never told her friends about the freak offs, which, I mean, who would want to expose that? Like, hey, guess what I do? I get down with escorts and we hire them and we do this and that and I let them do this. No, I don't think anybody is openly sharing that with anyone. I can't wait till they get the part where they say, were there any other celebrities that knew about these freak offs, and were there any other celebrities involved? I'm thinking that I'm going to assume that Cassie is going to be on the stand all day. I don't think there's going to be another witness today. That's what I'm thinking. After lunch, I think, she's going to return and they're going to finish up. I mean, because it took all day yesterday for the prosecution. I'm pretty sure it's going to take all day today. I see why they wanted her to go first. I mean, Lord, she gonna end up having her baby on the witness stand. because this is long and drawn out. I honestly don't see how she does this, honestly, because this is a lot. I mean, it would be a lot for anybody that's not even pregnant, but I mean, her coming up there doing all this, I mean, whew. But they say this is a very significant part in the case, so I mean, we'll see where it goes. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I'll return with my live after lunch. I'm pretty sure they're about to break because it's 12:05. That's the same time they always break for lunch. And they should be back in about an hour, and I will return as well. So like this live, subscribe to my channel, please. Share this live, and I will return. And I appreciate everyone who did come in and comment and subscribed. I appreciate you all, and I will be back.